What's up guys, it's Will here, back again, and today we're here to do something very exciting, and that is to review the Iconiq Studios 1/6 scale pyramid head, or red pyramid thing as he's known on the packaging. Guys, before we get started, make sure to click that like button, click that subscribe button, and click that notification bell down below so you are notified when content goes live on this channel. We got reviews, we got news, we got live streams, everything you would want for 6 scale and statue collecting. Guys, I gotta let you know, I got my Iconiq Studios pyramid head, or red pyramid thing again, from Comic Concepts. There's a link in the description below. You can use my code for $10 off. It's WillFox, that's the code. I'll put it on screen now. But they have great shipping prices, no sales tax unless you're in Georgia or California, really fast shipping, and of course, great customer service. So you definitely want to check them out. They have lots of stuff besides Iconiq as well. They have hot toys, they have statues. Of course, they have other types of figures and collectibles as well. So check out the link in the description below to Comic Concepts. Guys, with that said, let's go ahead and get into the review of Mr. Pyramid. You may be wondering, who is Pyramid Head? Well, Pyramid Head is a character that first appeared in the Silent Hill franchise on September 25th, 2001, when Silent Hill 2 released on the PlayStation 2. Without going too deeply into spoilers, Pyramid Head is a manifestation of main character James Sunderland's guilt and inner torment, as well as his subconscious desire for punishment. The town of Silent Hill has the power to physically manifest its inhabitants' best and worst characteristics, and Pyramid Head ends up being among the worst for the main character James. Iconiq Studios Pyramid Head retails for $289 and is a 1/6 scale articulated figure. The body is a custom Fison TB League body that has full articulation and a metal skeleton underneath. The body itself has paint application that is designed to showcase Pyramid Head's horrifying, otherworldly nature with his bruising and skin discolorization. The paint apps here are really effective at recreating Pyramid Head's iconic look. I've never seen paint apps like these on a fully seamless body, so it's impressive Iconiq Studios pulled it off so well. The body is fairly heavy and is one of the heaviest 1/6 scale figure bodies I've ever held in hand. This is likely due to the metal skeleton underneath, and combine that with the silicone used for the outer layer of the body, and you have something that feels substantial and very high quality. With seamless bodies, I would highly advise to not bend the arms long term because you want to avoid risk of damaging the figure. While these bodies are durable, you can't escape physics, and these bodies will degrade and tear more rapidly if you leave them bent for long periods of time. The figure doesn't come with a ton, but that's fine really because Pyramid Head doesn't warrant that many accessories. He comes with his great knife, which is a weapon he's primarily seen wielding in both the games and the films. The sword is actually really long and quite heavy for being entirely made of plastic. This is an inevitable downside, but Pyramid Head has a little difficulty holding the sword in certain poses because of the length of the blade and its overall weight. For most poses, he's fine, but for others, the hand will spin itself to compensate for the weight of the sword on the joint. Nonetheless, the sword is painted with blood spatter effects, rust, and a ton of other overall weathering that give it a really authentic look. I'm glad it's plastic. You wouldn't really want this thing to be die cast because it would be way too heavy and the paint effects would be lacking the same level of detail. Pyramid Head also comes with his great spear. The great spear is also made of plastic similarly to the sword and has a ton of rust and general weathering effects on it. The spear comes in 2 separate parts, but you can simply peg the tip of the spear into the base and it sits flushly and securely. I honestly love how Pyramid Head looks with the spear, making it really difficult to decide which weapon I want to display him with. He shows up with his spear near the end of Silent Hill 2, so the blade is a more iconic weapon for the character, but damn, does this spear look good on him. You can always alternate your display every so often by changing out the weapons and the pose, so this is a figure that you can for sure engage with often despite him lacking a ton of accessories. The figure comes with a display base meant to replicate the grimy, grated floor of Silent Hill. It's also made of plastic and feels a bit cheap, but looks great on display. It feels very hollow and lightweight, but it certainly looks the part. I do wish it had a nameplate with a character name and the IP on the front, but simply the name of the IP on the front looks good nonetheless. There's a waist clamp that attaches to the back of the base, and you can feel safe clamping this around Pyramid Head's waist because there is a layer of fabric in between the clamp and the actual body, meaning you have a layer of protection to prevent lifelong damage. The figure also comes with 6 interchangeable hands. You have a few fisted hands, some gripping ones, and a few open ones. These hands also have blood spattering effects on them and other types of weathering. Pyramid Head wears executioner style gloves, and these hands replicate replicate that look nicely. Some of them even have the fingers kind of meshed together, helping replicate his otherworldly presence. The hands are definitely not fun to change, so I'd recommend you get the set you want on there and leave it. Just take your time and be careful not to damage the silicone skin. Moving to the actual figure, the head sculpt has a beautifully disturbing likeness to the character. There is so much detail in the rust and the damage to the pyramid helmet that you can stare at it for long periods of time and still find new things to appreciate about it. This again is a plastic piece and it's connected to the body via a ball peg and neck joint. There's honestly no reason to remove the head since there's no interchangeable head sculpt, and the head actually ships on the body so you're ready to rock and roll once you open the box. It articulates pretty well for being so massive, and while you're not going to get like 360 degrees of rotation, you can pull off any pose you want with it really. Pyramid Head doesn't require anything crazy in terms of posing, so the head movement here is certainly adequate. Going underneath of the helmet, there's a molded fleshy substance. Now, it can be a point of contention here because for Silent Hill fans, apparently the original artist of Pyramid Head, Masahiro Ito, he didn't intend for this fleshy substance to be there, but it did become canonical for the character later. I'd actually prefer it not be there, but it really doesn't matter because on display you're never going to see it. It's underneath the helmet and you'll likely have Pyramid Head with his head tilting down, concealing the flesh underneath. I do think from a manufacturing standpoint it looks cool, but I find the character more mysterious without it. Well done from a figure standpoint, but from a character design standpoint, I prefer it weren't there. Regardless, Iconiq did a great job with this head sculpt. The outfit for Pyramid Head is pretty simple. He has a weathered executioner's apron that is sleeveless and extends to just above the knee. I think the weathering on the apron is okay, but I would have liked to see a little bit more blood and dirt and grime to really capture the brutal nature of Pyramid Head. The prototype actually had this, but the final product lessened the weathering a bit. The outfit is well tailored though, and essentially makes for a figure that looks and feels high quality. I'd say the tailoring is on par with a Hot Toys figure and the body higher quality than a Hot Toys figure due to its weight and fully seamless construction. The boots are a split cut design that allow for increased articulation. Not much more to say about them, but they are fully sculpted and they look the part well. Let's talk about the presence of the figure. Honestly, this has quickly become one of my favorite figures in my collection. I think the presence it has is undeniably awesome if you're a fan of the character. While there are some really good Pyramid Head collectibles out there, if you're a 1/6 scale collector, it's hard to envision a figure topping this one, if one is even made at all. From a value perspective, $290 is really not bad at all in today's market. Most Hot Toys cost more than that, and this one has a custom TB League body that's fully seamless. You also have to remember that he's a bit bigger than most Hot Toys. He stands about 14.3 inches tall and 15.5 inches tall on the base, so he certainly has plenty of presence standing among other 1/6 scale figures because he looks so scary and imposing. Nonetheless, I think this figure nails what it needs to, and I'm more than satisfied. In conclusion, the Iconiq Studios Pyramid Head, aka Red Pyramid Thing, is an absolutely stellar figure. While I would have liked to see a bit more blood splatter on the apron and the body itself, these are small gripes with an otherwise awesome collectible. It's imposing, it has a ton of presence, it faithfully recreates the essence of the character, and it has an amazing custom body that feels high quality. I like the minimal accessories and the look of the base, so this thing is a really good value for $290. I'm gonna give Iconiq Studios Pyramid Head a 9 out of 10. If you're looking for Iconiq Studios figures, Hot Toys, statues, or any other types of collectibles, check out the link to Comic Concepts in the description below and use my code WillFox for $10 off of your order. That's all from me for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!